So we know that firsts hold a lot of value for a lot of people. So we have questions regarding that too. So how was your first day in NDA, and what was the feeling when you wore your uniform for the first time?
First day in India was was uh, was how should I say? First day in India was an exploratory. It was an exploratory day. I wanted life to be in a certain way, and I've always been a little zippy about what I want. So I wanted to join Alpha Squadron in India because Alpha sounded good. पर मुझे मिला Foxtrot Squadron. So I did not like this Foxtrot. I don't know what it is. It's a, silly sounding kind of name and things like that. But I tried to bend reality, and but that didn't happen, and I got Foxtrot only. So first day in NDA was more or less trying to get what I want, and it is basically the next 2 weeks are what is more of value. And in the basically kya hota na, every day the government of India spends a certain amount of money on training you. In NDA, there was a certain amount of money being spent on me every day by the government, and if you leave, you have to pay it all back before you can leave. So every day I used to sit on my study table and I used to calculate कि आज अगर मैं छोड़ दूं तो कितने पैसे देने पड़ेंगे वापस गवर्नमेंट को. So within 2 weeks, I realized the grand total was far more than me, or like my parents could afford to pay. So I realized कि अब तो यहीं रुकना पड़ेगा. So every day was I wanted to run away from NDA basically, because I am a person who used to enjoy my freedom, and NDA में क्या होता है ना, सबसे पहले तो आजादी ले लेते हैं आपसे. They tell you what to do. So I did not want to stay there, but within 2 weeks I realized कि यार इतने पैसे तो है नहीं कि मैं गवर्नमेंट को इतने पैसे वापस दे दूँ, अब तो यहीं रहना पड़ेगा. So I kind of adjusted to life there, and I started like living like that. And the second part of your question was,
What was the feeling of wearing the uniform for the first time?
फीलिंग ऑफ वेयरिंग माय यूनिफॉर्म. यार वो फीलिंग लेने का टाइम ही नहीं मिला, बिकॉज क्या कहते हैं, यू गेट कमीशन एज एन ऑफिसर इन IMA, and everybody else, every other arm, basically they wear all these fancy clothes. You wear stars on your shoulders, and you wear brass belts, and all these shiny things that you wear, and you go out into your units. But when you volunteered for special forces, I volunteered for special forces directly from the academy. So क्या कहते हैं, I was in combat uniform from day one. So क्या कहते हैं, nothing fancy about the combat uniform. It is just a camouflage cloth which you wear basically so that the enemy cannot see you first. You are able to see the enemy first. So that is what I wore, and in front of me there was a after becoming an officer, after getting commissioned, I had to go into probation basically. So for me it was a beginning of a new journey, a very very difficult journey of getting selected in the unit that I was going for, and yeah, I felt very good, and to wear my stars, and but I also knew कि अभी तो कहानी शुरू हुई है. So yeah, it was good. Yeah.
Right. So since you mentioned what was life like in the special forces, just your experience.
Life was there was no life. Life in the sense, life is like in the standard sense of the word life you are experiencing, and that you want to experience in the future, and you look forward to something, and you spend your time trying to create it and things like that. So for me, life in the special forces was moment to moment, moment to moment, moment to moment. है ना, जब प्रोबेशन चल रहा था तो है ना, इट वाज ऑल अबाउट कि यार अब कहाँ पहुंचना है, अब क्या करना है ना, what is the unit asking of me, what do I have to do. And after I got selected, it was a 6 months long process. And after I got selected, and I went directly into operations, and then it became more moment to moment than I could have imagined. And I remember climbing mountains at night in pitch black no moonlight, and just climbing and climbing and climbing and going into our target areas, basically penetrating into chaos. And it was, I remember myself, stopping and thinking, I was just climbing and I just stopped, to rest my legs and my back. I just stopped and I was thinking here, पता नहीं कल सुबह का सूरज देखेंगे नहीं देखेंगे, है ना. So that was my life. I didn't know if I'll see next morning sunrise or not.